Hey gang, today we're going to do That Smell by Lynyrd Skynyrd Part 2. I already did Part 1 2 years ago. Now I'm going to do Part 2, which is Alan Collins' solo. We're also going to do the bridge, and I'll do Part 3. I promise I'll do that soon. I won't make you wait 2 years. Hey, speaking of coming out soon, I've got a pretty big announcement that I've got at the end of the video, so you're definitely going to want to stick around for that if you like 70s rock guitar. Scratch that. If you love 70s rock guitar, you'll want to stick around for that. Okay, let's do the demo, then we'll do the lesson, and again, talk to you at the end. All right, see you in just a second. Okay, gang, let's go over this now note for note. First things first, you can download the tab from the link in the description below. It's going to make your life a lot easier. Now, what we're going to cover in this lesson is the second part of the main solo, played, I believe, by Alan Collins. We'll also cover the bridge, and we will not cover the part by Steve Gaines. That was already covered before. You can, I'll put a link down below to that previous video, so you can see that pretty easily. And then we're not going to cover Gary Rossington's solo, which is, I believe, it's Gary playing the third solo. And we're going to cover that in a future lesson, hopefully very, very soon, okay? So we'll do that then. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the whole thing slowly, and then we'll break it down line by line. Okay, so this is over the, I don't know what you want to call it, the reverse Stairway to Heaven chord progression. So it's like this. So it's F to G to A, and those are mostly power chords. You can play an A minor if you want. If you're gonna play a fuller chord, you got to make that an A minor. So because of that, this whole solo is really in A minor pentatonic, with the exception of one note, which I will point out when we go through line by line. All right, here we go. We're gonna play the whole solo slowly first. It's gonna start out, remember, it's all in A minor pentatonic. We're gonna start out here in the 2nd fret, 3rd string with a monster bend. And it's coming at the end of Steve Gaines' solo. There's a couple of pickup notes beforehand. Okay, so here we go. And then we're into Gary's solo. So let's kind of break that down line by line. We're going to start with the first line. Now this is after the 2 pickup notes, which are exactly like the 2 notes of the first line. Okay, so there's 2 pickup notes at the end. They're basically these monster bends. Let's just go over that right now, right? So at the end of Steve Gaines' solo, there's these 2 notes. Okay. What is that? Well, 3rd string, 2nd fret, that's an A. We're going to bend that all the way up to the C. That is a tough bend because we're bending so far down on the neck. So what I would advise is you use your 3rd finger and then you reinforce it with both your 1st and 2nd and really grit your teeth, bend the heck out of it, and try and get it to that 5th fret, right? So you're aiming for this note and you're starting from here. Right, so it's a tough one. It's a step and a half bend, all right? So you do that twice, and then we do the first line. Let's just do that right there. That is probably the toughest line in the whole solo, but it's very cool, and there's a number of different ways you can play it, but I like this way. So we're going to bend that up twice, right? We're going to do this twice bend that we did before, third string, second fret. And it's tough to hold it up there, but Alan Collins did that. Okay, so then we're going to bring it down. Oops, I'm sorry. And pull it off, and then play this. Now, that last one is, instead of playing the open third string, we're going to play on a fourth string, fifth fret, which is the same note, but we can provide vibrato to that string, or to that note, so that's what we do, okay? So here it is again. Okay, here's the next line. I think it hits it twice. Okay, so that's pretty simple. This is just fourth string we're going to hammer on from open to second, and then do the same thing kind of on the third string, but come down. And that's the end of the line. Here's the next line. Pretty straightforward. This is definitely, you're in your main minor pentatonic blues box now, coming up on the fifth fret. So this is the one that we all know and love. Right? So we're just going to slide up fourth fret to the seventh, and then on the third string, or fourth string, up to the seventh fret. And then on the third string, we're going to play 5, and then instantly go into this bend thing on the seventh. Okay, that's that line. Here's the next line. Very straightforward line. Let me just play it slowly. I think you'll get it. Hard part is to bring it up, down, and then back up again without picking, and then give it some vibrato at the top. Okay? Here's the next line. This one's also a little bit tricky. Oops. Okay, so this one's kind of tricky because, well, it's just a little bit fast, I suppose. So we're going to play twice with this pull-off on the third string. So far, so good. That's pretty straightforward. Now we're going to go up to the next string pair, the third and the second, and play 8, pull off to 5, and then play 5 on the third string. And then we're going to do the same thing with the string pair of 2 and 1, 8, pull off to 5, and then play the second string on the 5. So it's... Then we'll play the 5th on the first string, and we'll double it by sliding up on the second string from the 8th to the 10th. Very common. And we'll give it some vibrato. So the whole line is like this. Okay? So the next line is this. Pretty straightforward. This is like an Albert King line, or you'll hear Stevie Ray Vaughan do it all the time. Okay, so second string 8 to 10. Give that tons of vibrato. Come up to the first string, play 8, 10, and then 10 we'll bend a whole step, and then come down to the 8th. It's important that you don't bring that one down and play the 10th again. It's not like this. No, it's like this. right? So you're coming down to the second string 10th, and again, giving that tons of vibrato. All right, straightforward line. Here's the transition line. We're going to bend on the second string 8. We're going to bend it up a whole step. So we're going to again hit that note, that A, right? But we're going to bend from it, and then, and there's the one note that's out of the minor pentatonic. Okay, so this note, or this line, is second string bend, whole step. And then we're going to walk down the blues scale this time by playing first string 5, second string 8, 5, third string 8, 7, 5, and then ending up on the fourth string 7, which is an A. Here's the whole line. And only pick the ones that you want to on that, all right? Okay, so we're done with the solo. Let's go into the bridge now. So the bridge is going to start with basically, it's a bunch of licks that are around power chord C to G, and then power chord B flat to power chord F. All right, and we're just putting in a few fills in there. So it starts by going like this. That's the C. So that little slide is from on 5th string 5 to 7, and then 5 on the 4th string, and then playing that G. So it's like this. Same thing, but we're doing it on the 6th string now. 5, 7, 5 on the 5th. So it's B flat, F. And now here we're going to play this. Okay, pretty straightforward A minor pentatonic lick here, or most of it is anyway. Anyway, we're going to play on the 4th string 5 to 7. 5 to 7 hammer, and you'll give that some nice vibrato. Now we're going to go up on the 3rd string, ascending. So 5, 7, then 5, then 7, 9. 9 to 12, and we're going to give that 3 hits. And then slide up to 14. And slide up to 16. Okay? So here's the whole thing. Now we're going to go through that bridge again. Now we're going to come all the way up to the 14th. And this is very similar. We're just playing it an octave above. So we're going to start out on a 3rd string 14th. So we're going to the 12th and back to the 14th. And again, giving that tons O vibrato. And then 13 on the 2nd to 15th. We're going to bend that up and then play the 15th on the 1st string 3 times. And then we're going to play this little pull-off lick, hammer on and pull-off lick, 12, flick to 15, back to 12, and then 15 on the 2nd. And that's basically it. Then it gets into Rossington's solo. But that's the whole thing, okay? Here's that last line. Well, there you have it, gang. Part 2 of Lynyrd Skynyrd's That Smell. Great solo from Alan Collins. And then also the bridge, which is such a cool bridge. Already did part 1. Promise I will do part 3 very soon. So what's the big announcement? What's the big deal? Well, I'm happy to announce that Phil Roberts of 15 Minute Guitar and I are coming out with part 1 of our project, which is 1970s rock guitar. We're going to focus on songs from 1970, the year 1970. We've picked a selection of songs from easy to difficult, and we're going to cover all sorts of things in that, the complete song. You'll get tabs, backing track, professional tabs, backing track, and all of that. So that's pretty exciting. What I wanted to tell you was you can sign up for the wait list on that for the early bird pricing. And the early bird special is going to have not only a discount on the price, but also some freebies and a giveaway. So we're giving away a whole year's worth of strings and of guitar strings. And some of the freebies are things like enrollment into other courses. All right? So may as well check it out, right? Why not just sign up for the wait list? You can check it out. Whoops, I'll put it up there, a link up there, but also I'll put it in the description of the video and in the comments. So hope to see you on the wait list, but either way, we'll see you on down the road.